Hi, my name is Brian Boyette, founder of Raven CSI, and today we're going to get access to Raven, show you how to log in and build a 3-question survey and publish it. That's the first section. The second section, we're going to build a survey using templates and publish. The third section is how to create custom reports. And then the fourth section will be how to add an alert to a survey and then publish it. You can pause the video at any time to reaching any of those elements. Thanks. So in order to log into Raven, first of all, we're going to go over here to log into Raven and pick Raven CSI New. That will go away in about 2 months as of the recording of this video. So you go to New. When you go to New, you put in your username and then your password, and then you log in. Okay. I've already logged in. When you log in, you'll usually see just one plan, okay? In this particular case, for our demos, we have several different plans available for us, all right? So I'm just going to pick a plan. There's also I don't know if you saw it, there was a dashboard behind that. So when you start Raven, it lands on a page over here. So here's a series, here's the dashboard if you wanted to see all those elements in the dashboard. Here's the plans if you had multiple plans. Most of you only have one. There's a general settings tab that has a bunch of different features and functionality here, but it lands on the survey page because that's what most people want to do, is to design a survey. And then we have reports and all these other pages over here. So that'll hide as you go forward. So we've landed on this survey page, and the first thing I want to do is just kind of look at the features, right? When we built Raven, we tried to structure it such that everything that you wanted to do on a survey is right here in this row. So for this particular survey for Isaac, right, that it has a edit the front page capability. There's a bunch of features over there. You could copy this survey. You can delete it if you're an admin. It has some information here about when it was created. If it's an active survey, here's our publish QR link. If you wanted to test it, and add some data just to see how things work, it's right here. Here's our action tracker alert system. Here's our auto reports. If you wanted to download the responses, download the survey template to a doc, all that stuff is right here in this row, right? Look at the responses and then import historical data, right, for that particular survey. So anyway, everything's right here. If you want to edit the survey, you just click right here on the survey name. So first of all, I'm just going to create a survey, and we're going to do a 3-question survey and publish it and show you how fast you can do that in Raven. Okay, so I'm going to hit create survey. Okay, you have to put in a name. This is testing survey users. Okay, you have to put in a description, so please provide feedback. And with Raven, you can actually make that bold. You can change the font size, to whatever you want just by doing some of that stuff. It has a thank you that's already pre-programmed in and try again, which you can add additional messages. But you also just need to give it a date, right? So you're going to have an end date, and I'm just going to pick January 31st. And then you get to pick what time zone you're in for UTC capability. You can also customize this first page by putting a logo, change the question headers, add an image here. On a background, you can add an image or change the color using this color palette. Okay, but we're not going to do that at this point. And I'm just going to hit create. So that creates the survey. So now we have a survey that's created called testing survey users right here in this header box. We have this front page, or this page header bar here that you can just say hello from Raven. I'm just making it up. I can make that bold too, or you can just blank that out if you wanted to. Okay, so that page title is added. Now I'm just going to add a question. Okay, we also built over here some FastPath features over here that you'll see on the right if you see my cursor on the right. So I'm just going to add a question. Okay, I'm just going to pick a fun question. A lot of people, you want to make your surveys fun, so we're going to pick an emoji question. I'm going to pick faces. You have to write something in here like please rate us. Hopefully you can spell. Please rate us Once again, I can make that bold if I wanted to. I can change the color. And then we have this series of faces that has a dissatisfied to satisfied feature. I'm just going to add and save, right? So that question is now added. You'll see here there's some other functionality that you could edit this question if you wanted to, copy it, move it. You can create a sub-question. When you create a sub-question, there's some rules in there. There's an actual video under sub-question on how to build a sub-question or how to create filters and then alerts and then that type of stuff. So anyway, we can also customize this page like with a logo and a background because this is a different page than that other page. All right, but I'm going to add another question just to give you some examples. We're going to add a radio question, and I'm going to say, please select one. Okay, I'm going to say low, and then I'm going to add another response. Another response would be the medium, or I'm going to add high. Okay, and you'll see here that it also adds a scale or a scale value here based on how many responses you add. Now you can change that value if you wanted to, but also there's another feature in here, and you'll use that for math later on if you're going to do some mathematical analysis in the reports. But also I can move these responses. If I didn't like the order and I wanted it to start with high, medium, and low, I can move the order. Now I'm going to hit add and save. You can also change the question to be either horizontal or vertical, and I'll show you that in the next window once we add this question. So now we've added that question, but I can also make that question, change that format to this way, to horizontal, okay? I kind of like the vertical version, so I'm going to switch it back to vertical, right? And then I'm going to add one more question, right, to this page. So I'm going to add, let's just do a rating question. Let's just do a slider question. No, slider is too complex. Let's just do checkbox, okay? We'll add a checkbox. We're going to say, please select all that apply. And we're just going to say, oh, what would that be? Let's just say super friendly, and it could be for my boss, I guess. Let's go back and change that. Somewhat friendly. And it could be approachable or something, probably something a little bit more meaningful. Not friendly. I'm just making it up. I'm going to add and save. Okay. And now we have our 3-question survey built. Now, in order to take this survey, a couple of things. What I like to show people is this thing called a survey link. It's a little chain over here. That's the icon for it. And what I typically do is just, if you're demoing this, you would just click that survey link and then show them this link, and then on their phone, they could scan that QR code right here with their phone. Now you can download the QR code, you can copy this using Snippet, those types of things for this particular survey link. So I'm assuming we've got that done. If you want to publish it and just add some test data to test this survey, you're going to click here on this little publish button, right? And here it is. Here's our survey. We also have where the respondent can actually change the language at this point. Currently don't have any language changes in Raven until you get to this level. So I'm going to hit start, and you'll see this front page header here, and then here's our survey, right? We're just going to add some test data, so I'm just going to pick, some of these things, medium here, and I'm going to say my boss is somewhat friendly or whatever. There's a feature where you can use this to turn this off to where they can only enter once based on their URL access. But in this case, I'm just testing it at this point. So we defaulted that to have you be able to enter some what we call fake data just to test out the system and kind of see what it does. Okay. So now I've taken 2 surveys, right, for this particular point. I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to go over here to this survey page. And you'll see here, testing survey users is here, right? Here's that published button again where I can actually take more surveys. But there's a thing called auto reports. So I'm just going to click on this called auto reports. And you'll see here that 2 surveys were taken. These were the responses for the first question. There's the responses for the second question. Here's the responses for the third question. So you can see it's pretty fast. And I'm going to click back here. Don't have the fast path there. Click back there. You see it's pretty fast to publish those results. Okay. If you wanted to see the responses in their raw format, you could go here to this thing called a response table. Click on this response table, right? And you'll see here the responses. There's some extra columns here for other functionality within Raven. At one point that might be hidden in the future, but you'll see here some of these have, not numeric values, right? If you wanted to see what the score or that scale factor was, you can click here and it gives you that score factor, right? If you're going to use that for a mathematical response. Either way, you can download this stuff using Excel right here. You can download responses and you can put it in whatever time zone that you think most of the users are in, or just default it to, it defaults to UTC time. So, okay, so that's good. So we're going to go back. If any of the data was corrupt or anything, or since you're the admin, you can actually delete it from that table as well. So that's it.